Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today, we got a brand new story to share with you. So let's begin. I never thought of myself as a jealous husband. My wife, Lauren, had always been fiercely independent, driven, ambitious, and dedicated to her career in marketing. Business trips were a regular part of her job, and for years, I never questioned them. But lately, something had shifted. She had grown distant. Conversations became brief. Her affectionate gestures faded, and there was a certain coldness in her voice whenever she mentioned work. The spark between us had dimmed. Whenever I tried to bring it up, she brushed it off, blaming stress. Then she told me about a 3-day work trip to Chicago. At first, I didn't think much of it, but then little things started to nag at me. She was more secretive with her phone, tilting the screen away when she texted. She bought a new dress, sleek, elegant, not quite the business casual she usually wore. When I asked about it, she laughed, her tone too light, too rehearsed. Just something professional for my meetings. And then, the biggest red flag. While she was packing, her laptop was open on the bed. I happened to glance at the screen and saw a flight confirmation. My stomach dropped. The return date was a day later than what she had told me. I stood there, watching her zip up her suitcase, smiling as if everything was normal. It wasn't. A knot tightened in my chest. Something was off. Something was very, very wrong. That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying every little change in her behavior over the past few months. Every moment I had dismissed as paranoia. By morning, my mind was made up. I had to follow her. I booked a separate flight, ensuring I'd arrive a few hours after hers. I didn't know what I was looking for. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was about to make a complete fool of myself. Or maybe my instincts were right. When my plane landed, I took a cab straight to the hotel she was supposedly staying at. The receptionist, a young woman with dark-rimmed glasses, checked her system. "I'm sorry, sir," she said, frowning at her screen. "We don't have a reservation under that name." I felt a sharp, twisting pain in my gut. I forced a smile. Maybe it's under her company's name? She checked again, shook her head. "No, sir, no reservation under that, either." My hands clenched. I pulled out my phone. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe this was a misunderstanding. Me asterisk, "Hey babe, how's the hotel?" Lauren asterisk, just got in, tired from the flight. Going to rest before my meeting. Asterisk. I looked around the lobby. If she was resting, then why wasn't she here? My heart pounded. I sat in a nearby coffee shop, my laptop open, scanning hotels in the area. One by one, I checked. My coffee turned cold. My fingers ached from refreshing pages, entering names. And then I found her. She wasn't at a corporate hotel. She was staying at a boutique hotel. Small, private, the kind of place couples want to escape. A place for romance, not business. A chill ran down my spine. I booked a room under a fake name. Then I waited. At exactly 8:07 p.m., she emerged from the elevator. And she wasn't alone. The dress she had bought, the one she claimed was for work, clung to her in a way that wasn't meant for boardrooms or business meetings. A man stood beside her, tall, well-dressed, late 40s, a commanding presence, the type of man who was used to getting what he wanted. He placed a hand on the small of her back. She leaned into it, smiling. Then she laughed, a real laugh, the kind I hadn't heard in months. A knife twisted in my chest. My breath hitched. I could have left right then, could have turned away, swallowed my pride, and walked back to my room to process everything in silence. But something inside me snapped. I followed them outside, staying just far enough behind. They strolled down the street, so caught up in each other, they didn't notice me. They entered a high-end restaurant, the kind with dim lighting and private booths. I waited outside, pacing, my hands clenched into fists. An hour later, they emerged, her arm tucked through his, her body angled toward him in a way that told me everything I needed to know. They were heading back to the hotel. And that's when I stepped in front of them. Lauren stopped abruptly, her eyes going wide with horror. The man beside her looked at me, confused. "Who's this?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I stared directly at her. "Tell him." Her lips parted. She swallowed hard. Then, barely above a whisper, she said, "This is my husband." The man flinched, taking a small step back. His gaze flickered between us. "You're married?" I exhaled, slow and steady. "Yeah, she is." I turned to Lauren, my voice sharper now. "So who the hell is he?" She grabbed my arm, nails digging into my skin. "Let's talk alone." I yanked my arm away. "No, we talk now." People were staring. Whispers. Curious glances. She was trapped, caught in the open, unable to hide behind lies or excuses. Her mouth opened and closed like she wanted to explain, but we both knew there was nothing left to say. The man shifted awkwardly, adjusting his suit jacket. "I should go." Lauren didn't stop him. I watched as he disappeared into the night. Then I turned back to her. For a long time, she didn't speak. Then, in a voice so small, so fragile, she whispered, "I didn't want you to find out this way." A bitter laugh escaped me. "Oh, so you were going to tell me? Or were you planning more work trips?" Her eyes dropped to the pavement. And in that moment, I knew whatever we had, whatever love, trust, or partnership we once shared, was gone. I didn't take her flight back. I changed mine, leaving the next morning without another word. She sent texts, voicemails, apologies, explanations. None of them mattered. A few days later, I learned the truth. Her boss, married, kids. She had risked everything for a man who had likely whispered the same sweet lies to women before her. I filed for divorce. She didn't fight it. Once, I believed we were unbreakable, that she was my best friend, my forever. But that night in Chicago, I learned the truth. Love isn't about words. It's about what people do when they think no one is watching. And I had watched, and I had seen, and that was enough. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.